Hey there, seems like you're lost in the YouTube algorithm, and it's brought you here. Why haven't you left yet, bro? Well, since you're unfortunately stuck here and haven't had the better conscience yet to leave this video, how about you stay for a while and listen to the small rant about this video game that gave 14-year-old me in the quarantine quite the ridiculous impact. But before we get started on that, this is just a video I wanted to make because the state of this game is nearing a point where it's just low-key an abusive fucking relationship. Like those people in that one show, Maury, or that one episode from Kitchen Nightmares.
Christina, I'm talking.
Because seriously, what in the actual fuck is wrong with these people, bro? Anyways, back on topic. There are various things I wish to talk about, but I won't fully go into them as most, if not all these, are already being heavily discussed in a much better way than a random ass college student ever would. But anyways, just sit back, listen, and put my ass to the background if you want, or some shit, I don't really care. When I first played this game in the first week of October, which was 2.5 weeks after its release, I was genuinely so appalled by this. To say it left an impact would be an understatement, because 2 weeks prior, both my older brothers played this game before me and have yet to have gotten their first 5-star. And here I was sitting on my greasy ass chair, pulling on the beginner banner, and immediately got catching. And I'm not gonna lie, man, it made me so addicted to this game. Even if the meme of Breath of the Wild but anime was practically plaguing the fucking space around Genshin like fucking COVID, I was still loving it. Exploring Mondstadt, committing my very first war crimes on the nearest hilly chill camp, and finally reaching Liyue, and finally trying co-op mode. The shit took me forever. I was AR-45 when I tried that shit, bruh. And in co-op mode, I met a good friend who is still my close friend to this day. And that shit made that impact even more impactful. And me personally, I think it's quite a damn shame that I can't find a game who can give me such a first impression, but I think that's mostly because of how COVID affected all of us, making all of us be stuck in our homes, and seeing other people new in Genshin at the time, at least the ones I saw online and from my friends new to the game at the time. It just made me so happy to see them enjoy the game and talk about how this character and this artifact and such. It was definitely an experience that I wish I could experience again. And it's such a damn shame that Genshin today definitely isn't the same game as it was back then, and of course in a literal sense it's not exactly the same. Duh. And considering the last 1.5 years where I've been significantly on and off on Genshin, like not playing for 3 to 4 months and coming back for just 1 week, it really did exemplify that feeling a whole lot more. And I don't think it's because I've been on and off, because I really do enjoy and savor the moment in those times I return, because it really does feel like a brand new game. And every time I see the new changes and updates to the game, it makes me so excited, so happy to try everything. Until I see everything surrounding these new updates, bro. Damn! Because back then, when a character was released, or leaked, it was still all hype, and I really couldn't, for the life of me, find a single problem or drama about these characters. Even though there were obviously some people talking about this and that about a certain character, it was always so overshadowed by the amount of positive reactions that character gets. But now it's not even those Twitter veterans or Gooner accounts from Facebook and Reddit starting shit. It's fucking Hoyo, bro, and I really am looking at both sides, and I do see why people react that way and why Hoyo would make something like this. Before I go further into the point I'm trying to make, I'm not hating on these new characters, I'm not hating on the brand new regions and whatnot, but that doesn't mean I like it. I'm just neutral with it, I'm just okay with it. Because me personally, these new designs, they're low-key out of place to me, bro, but I think that's just me. And with that out of the way, I just gotta say, the newer content that Hoyo is putting out is just straight up ass. And to be more specific about what I'm talking about Varessa's organ jiggle. Because what the fuck is that, bro? I'm not trying to be inconsiderate, I promise, and I swear that I really am trying to see the point in all of this. I look at everybody's reactions, everybody's posts, comments, and reaction videos to this, and it's all just... Look, I still play this game, unfortunately. And I still do enjoy this game. I love playing this game with my friends and exploring the new regions and new content with them. It's all so fun. It's all cool. And before I had the utter displeasure of having to witness that fucking organ jiggle, I genuinely liked Varessa as a character. She was adorable, yes. And because you see, I had no idea what she was supposed to be until I searched her up on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube when my friends told me that I should take a look at her trailer. It really is such a shame because the cutscene for her tribe's quest, the one with the mushroom feast, was one of the silliest but also one of my favorite cutscenes that's not a part of the main storyline. And not only that, but Yansan's fitness class was fucking adorable, man. And I hate to be the one repeating shit over and over again, but that fucking organ jiggle is stuck on my mind, bro. Other than that, the only thing I would complain about is the fucking oculi, man. Like, I can't take this! And this might be just me who doesn't have the time to collect all of this, but even back then when I made a second account, getting the statues of the 7 to max rank was definitely a task, but I wouldn't say a tedious one in my opinion. As exploring the 2 regions at a time and then 3 regions after Inazuma, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Even Inazuma, which had 181 Electroculi to collect in comparison to Mondstadt 66 and then Liyue's 131, it was all pretty manageable, as I could just invest an hour or 2 a day to Genshin, complete my dailies, and do a bit of any event, and still have the time to grab a few, if not a good handful of oculi. And then came Sumeru, and its big fucking desert, having to collect 271 Dendroculi! That's just insane, bro. Like, for starters, this place is way too fucking big. This place is already 1/3 of the map, bruh. What the fuck? But hey, maybe that's just me nitpicking at random shit again, I don't know. But one thing I do know is that Sumeru's statue of the 7 is gonna be stuck at level 5 at most. But for Fontaine and Natlan, they're alright in terms of their respective oculus. It's somewhat reasonable, especially for Fontaine and Natlan. Fontaine's 225 and 200 for Natlan, respectively. And it's not exactly over the top like Sumeru's fucking 271 Dendroculi. And you know what? Speaking of over the top and being obnoxious, I just had to bring this shit from Twitter, from the Genshin VAs, because... What is all of this? Editor's note: at the time of writing this part of the video in the script and from the initial making of this video, a lot has already happened and much of the problems have already been resolved if I'm not mistaken, and therefore I will not be talking about it as much as I wanted to initially. And from the looks of things right now, it doesn't look like it's gonna explode out of proportion. I sure hope it doesn't, because this whole situation was whack, bruh. Look, there's tons of videos out there already discussing this, like I said in the beginning of the video. But as a casual player who doesn't exactly dip their toes in much of the media surrounding Genshin, and even though I do follow the main account of Genshin, I still am not, caught up with the latest posts and stuff. And, I just gotta say, man, what the fuck is all this, bro? What is all of this, bro? What is that? Like, I hate to be the one repeating myself, but Jesus Christ, man. Now, before I do continue, let me be clear. I love voice actors because they bring so much to the table, and I don't exactly understand why they're paid so low. And from what I've heard, even the biggest voice actors in the industry aren't exactly being paid, enough. Or so I heard. But hey, I'm not here to discuss or explain or debrief it to you guys. I'm just here to rant. And there's a lot of videos that sum it up pretty well. And the thing that really stuck to my mind ever since the whole strike happened was the old tweets resurfacing, man. And to be specific, I'm talking about Kaylee Millis, bro. Look, I'm not one to dig into past beef, drama, and whatnot, since that is low-key despicable from time to time and have some nefarious motives behind it. And this is from 5 years ago, but ain't no way you're going to defend a diddler and then clown on Jacob, who, by the way, is the real victim here, guys, because this guy just did not deserve the amount of shit that everybody gave him. But thankfully for Jacob and our eyes as the audience, not everybody was picking on Jacob, and a lot of people were also defending him, such as Nathan Nook, voice actor for Ororon, invested some points into the intelligence tree and reached out to Jacob. And apparently, Jacob did not know any of this, and I can't quite stress this enough, but this is just awful, bro. Jacob is a very small voice actor who's only had this amount of roles, and to be having the opportunity to voice a character from a titan in the gaming industry was quite literally a blessing that Jacob needed. But I gotta say, what's not amazing and definitely not a blessing is fucking Corina and her undercooked ass tweet. This is not the passing of the torch. Fuck you me about not passing the torch. Girl, you better pass that torch to somebody else if you keep yapping here and not as Paimon, bro. This video is a lot shorter than I initially thought, and I got like a whole lot of stock footage of, Genshin and such, and I genuinely thought this video might reach 20 minutes or so. And not only that, I got really busy with my midterms, and I low-key kind of fucked up in one of the tests, but we're not gonna talk about that. But I am confident that I passed everything else with flying colors. And not only that, I went to the other special live that was being, replayed in the cinemas. So I'm talking about the Shinzo one. Truly awe-inspiring, especially, her overall performance. Truly a generational talent. You guys should have been there. And not only that, I got sick too, which wasn't exactly nice. And a lot of other projects kept popping up left and right, which further delayed me from working on this video. Because this video was supposed to be about reminiscing about Genshin and stuff. But hey, here we are now. Other than that, thank you for sticking around, if you did get this far, that is. And I guess the moral of the story would be appreciate what you have, understand those around you, and understand yourself. Give it your 110%, and to always look into things diligently. Anyways, once again, thank you for sticking around. I hope all of you have a, wonderful rest of your day, evening, or night. Anyways,